Hey friends, this is Dolany TV. Welcome aboard here today as we set up the final regular season contest for the Edmonton Oilers. And well, in my mind, thankful it's finally all over for the Oilers in what has been, I described it as a turnstile season here so far. Tumultuous, another good word for it, in which it's been upside down all around and rolling down the hill, rolling up the hill at times this year. And the Edmonton Oilers play game 82 today as the Calgary Flames. They were eliminated last night despite winning out in that victory there last night. So tough go for the Flames. Good go for the Edmonton Oilers playing the San Jose Sharks tonight. A much better looking lineup on the ice for the Oilers tonight, including McDavid and Nugent Hopkins as the others remain out resting up for game one of the NHL playoffs. So we talked about last night kind of how Connor McDavid's saying, maybe things aren't the way we're making them appear right now. You know, everybody's sitting here saying how bad off the Oilers are with injuries. And I just want to touch on here's the other side of the argument, basically, which is for me, you know, everybody's sitting here saying I'm being so negative about the Oilers, how the LA Kings have maybe a leg up over the past 3 years now this year, and how, you know, well, this and that and the other thing. And I will be honest with you. Honestly, if the Oilers had have been playing with a full roster, a healthy team outside of Evander Kane from the trade deadline on, none of that is coming out of my mouth. That is where it is. It's this. I had a good comment today where it's saying I've lost confidence in the Edmonton Oilers. No, I haven't. I haven't lost confidence in their ability to outwill their opponent, their ability to go out there and control a game. I haven't lost confidence in any of that. What I have lost confidence in, and that was a good way of putting it because there is some lost confidence on my front, is their ability to stay healthy enough throughout the playoffs, given where they're starting at this point of the season with the injuries we've had. The confidence level to stay healthy or be healthy is very low throughout probably the first round until they prove me otherwise. And that's where, couple that with, quite simply, I just need to enjoy my summer. There's a lot of stuff that I've talked about here, especially with playoffs and Dylan Holloway and Philip Broberg and all that circus last year. There's a lot of stuff behind the scenes as well that I haven't mentioned that just to have me crying out loud, you know what, I need to take a summer where I just enjoy myself. I'll still be talking about the Oilers as much as possible, but it's just the time commitment just can't be there. And obviously, you know, to feel like I'm not missing out on live streaming all the playoff games, an early exit isn't a bad thing from my point of view. If that doesn't work for you, that's fine. I'm not saying you have to be hoping the Oilers have an early exit. I'm just saying if this team can't stay healthy enough and they early exit, it's not my worst case scenario because, you know what, I'm already planning on taking it easier anyway. So that's where, again, the lost confidence or that feeling of doom and gloom I seem to be conveying out there across the messages in the last few videos really just comes down to I want an easy summer. I don't want to feel like I'm missing out on a magical run by not live streaming it. And I do also want to go up to the watch parties and enjoy that magical run if the Edmonton Oilers can indeed stay healthy enough to enjoy a said magical run. So that's just really kind of where it's at this point, is just kind of going down that route and obviously kind of taking stock of what's happened since pretty much the start of the year. There's been some key injuries for the Edmonton Oilers. Don't forget, Kane had an additional injury to the core issue we already knew about going in. We've had some guys down in Bakersfield struggling with year-long injuries. There's guys at the NHL level who have been struggling with injuries for pretty much the entire 2025 portion of the calendar. So you're kind of looking at some situations here for the Edmonton Oilers where it just makes sense that injuries might be too much to overcome. And if that is the case, well, oh well, that is what it is at the end of the day. And like I said, for me, in my personal shoes, in my walk of life right now, it's not necessarily a bad thing to have a lighter summer, a lighter spring than we've been used to the past 3 or 4. But hey, you know what? At the same rate, these are the Edmonton Oilers we're talking about. This team does have Connor and Leon, and if they're even firing at 85% or above, they are going to do some damage against the LA Kings, against the Vegas Golden Knights, against the Dallas Stars or Colorado Avalanche or Winnipeg Jets, and very well could find themselves in the Stanley Cup final. And you know, at that point, it's just last man standing, and whoever wins, wins, and it's just kind of a coin flip. So I mean, again, to reiterate for those of you tuning in, I haven't lost confidence in the Edmonton Oilers. That's why in the title it's in quotations. I've lost confidence in the Edmonton Oilers' ability to stay healthy enough to win here in the playoffs. And like I said, it's self-serving if they don't go too far because it just allows me to go out there and enjoy my summer that much more. So, given some of the things that happened last year, there was some several events that just kind of have me in course to sit here and enjoy a summer. Like it's 10 degrees outside here in southern Alberta, windier than heck this afternoon. And I'm just sitting here itching to get on the ball diamonds for the first time this year. The Pirates hit the Diamonds when, Dice? When? The Pirates hit the Diamonds May 2nd, and I haven't even gotten one chance to do a live BP yet this year. So that's kind of where we're struggling is, friends. It's been a weird spring, right? We're not talking about multi-hectare wildfires in Alberta. Nobody's smoked out yet in any part of the province, from what I understand. So we're doing okay at this point because of a wetter spring or a more tame, cooler spring, if you want to put it that way. And you know what? It's shaping up that could make for a magical playoff run. Everything's good in Alberta. Everybody can just enjoy partying and being a buffoon down in central Edmonton, down there in downtown, out at the Moss Pit and at the tailgate party and all that. But first things first, are the Oilers going to be healthy enough to make it worthwhile? So, yeah, that's where we're at. Is the injuries are the biggest key here, and again, that's all it comes down to. Because if you're telling me the Oilers mono a mono against any of the teams in the playoffs, they can't do it full health, well, that's, you're stretching it. You're just hating on the Oilers because you don't like a guy, or you don't like this, or you don't like that. You're being ticky tacky. But if you want to tell me you don't think the Oilers can do it because of injuries, that is absolutely valid. I'm right there with you. And that's again where I lose the confidence this year. Is it's just this team can take on anyone if they're healthy, but they haven't been healthy for a very long time. And don't forget, Matthias Ekholm will be out of the lineup for the entire first round. So that's a tough pill to swallow. Evander Kane, well, what happens with him? I would say, in my estimation, watch what happens with Bakersfield over the next few days. Okay, that's all I'm going to tell you there. Is just for the Oilers, if Bakersfield can kind of get a little deeper into the season, the Oilers might be able to pull off some shenanigans like the Colorado Avalanche did with Gabriel Landeskog, and all of a sudden Kane might be coming back 100% or 110 when he returns to the lineup in the playoffs for the Edmonton Oilers. So injuries, man. That's all it comes down to. Is I have full confidence an Edmonton Oilers team that's 100% healthy can take a legit full throttle run at the Cup. But right now they're not 100%. I don't know if they will ever be 100% this playoffs. So that's where we find ourselves, friends. Looking forward to seeing if the Edmonton Oilers can stay healthy enough in the first round and get healthy enough in the first round, with Ekholm coming back in the second round, with Kane returning at some point, Frederick, Wallman, all the guys returning at some point. And it's enough to push us over the Kings, because if you don't stay in against the Kings, you don't get an advance anyway, so it's all a moot point. And that's kind of where the confidence factor comes down to it. So friends, let me know in the comments section below if injuries are your biggest problem in terms of confidence with this team, because I think we all know what they're capable of. Again, despite the injuries, this was still a damn near 100-point team this year. So keep that in mind when you're commenting, and we'll chat with you here soon. We'll have a short up a little bit later on tonight, I feel like. And for that, friends, I am up on out of here. If you haven't already left a like on the live stream, make sure to do that. Thanks for being aboard. If you are new, please subscribe. Again, you see the whole background's a bit different than normal, so just kind of doing some errands, I guess you could say, over the course of this week, and then we're back to the studio for Easter long weekend. Friends, thanks for being aboard. I'm up on out of here.